Hi, my name is Subramaniam Jairam. I'm Oracle EBS Cloud Consultant. Today we are going to talk about Oracle Cloud BTP Make Transfer Advanced Fulfillment Process. And if you have any questions regarding the process or you have any questions on Oracle EBS or cloud process, some solution design, or any issues or stuck in the middle of the work, please contact me. My email address is subuj1978 at gmail.com. My mobile number is 518-577-2430. And if you need any trainings on EPS or cloud, please talk with Nana. And his email is nana.app60 at gmail.com. He is the best trainer in the world. Right? So today uh, I just put a process flow, how that we're going to work on the business flow, back to back make and transfer. This is the real time scenario which one of my previous implementation project expected this process, but unfortunately this solution was not fit in EBS. And then now I tried a cloud and it fulfilled 75%. Still the transfer order is not automatically generated from the work order from the work order demand. Let me show you that process how it works. First, the customer is requesting the material, and here I have taken two orgs. One org is it will take the sales and manufacturing, and another org will be the central warehouse. There, all the raw materials will be in the central warehouse. Whenever that manufacturing or distribution plants want, they will pull that raw material from the central warehouse. And customer requested material, the finished good, and CSR team booked the sales order, and the CSM team check the stock whether exists or not. If there is no stock, if the stock exists, the finished good, and they will pick and ship to the customer. It's a direct flow. There's a standard and direct flow. There's no issue on that. If there is no stock, then because it's a make item, it's a finished good, and we are manufacturing that parts in my own warehouse, one plant, and then it will create the system should automatically create the work order. This is the make flow, and then for that work order, we are using raw materials and resources. And the raw materials, if any raw materials is not exist in the manufacturing plant in the shop floor, then those raw materials should be pulled from central warehouse. So the system should check whether raw materials are exist or not in my shop floor. If yes, then the system will take, the shop floor guy, manufacturing guy will take the raw material, he'll issue and complete the work order, and he'll pick and ship to the customer. If the raw material is not exist, then the transfer order should be created to my central warehouse, because I need to pull from all the raw materials in the central warehouse. We are not maintaining enough stock in my manufacturing plant because of my inventory carrying cost and inventory location and place issues. And then the central warehouse will ship that material, and the manufacturing location will receive the parts, and they will issue to the work order and then pick and ship and end. Here is the process. Whenever any back-to-back order process from the sales order, it may be buy or make or transfer. Based on my sourcing rule, system will create automatically. If it is a buy flow, then it will create a purchase requisition purchase order. If it is a make flow, it will create a work order. If it's a transfer flow, it will create a transfer order. This all will drive by the. This all flows will be driven by the sourcing rule. It's an amazing, excellent functionality which is exist in the cloud. But in the same way, whenever the shop floor, when the work order is released, if the raw materials not exist, whatever the components we are going to use for this build that job, if the raw materials not exist or sub-assemblies are not exist, even though if the sourcing rule exists, the system is not generating automatically buy flow or transfer flow or sub-assembly manufacturing flow. So the same requirement one of my customer requested in my previous project. Whenever they are manufacturing, when they open the work order, it may be the manufacturing work order or service work order. Then automatically, if the parts are not exist, then system should, based on the sourcing rule, the system should trigger automatically buy flow or transfer flow or make flow. But That flow still even not exist in the cloud, but we need to go and create this transfer order from central warehouse to manufacturing plant manually. So I'm going to show that too in this process, but we can recommend. I plan to put this question to the Oracle product team. Is it possible, whatever the back-to-back order functionality working in sales order to other modules like buy and make and transfer, that the same flows if it's work for manufacturing also, I mean the work order also, it will be really amazing. It's a tight integrator and a very amazing strong functionality, but that functionality is not exist as of today. So we need to go for manual erase sales order, or you have to go for manually create a purchase order, or you have to go to create a manual sub another work order sub assembly for that. But again, if you are using min-max plan, or if you are using a planning central, yes, then the planning central min-max plan will check that demand. Again, the supply, it will create a supply orders. But I'm not going to min-max plan or planning central. Right now, I'm going to create a manual transfer orders I'm showing to you. And later in future, in further videos, you can see how the planning system, manufacturing plan, planning central, how we are going to release the work, the jobs, the supply planned orders for the supply and the transfer orders, right? So for our reduce this time constraints, this training, I have to created a pre-request configuration like bill of material. I created one assembly item and I have taken three components, and I have created a couple of assembly center and packing centers and a couple of resources for that. And then I have created a price list, interorganization parameters, in transit times, and ATP rules, sourcing rules, and I collected also. Everything I done. Now I'm going to this step number 9. And if you see this process, everything is the same as it is, whatever I have shown in the back-to-back buy flow, and then the OSP process, the manufacturing plant creation, bomb creation, structure creations, and the assembly and work order creation, everything I have shown in the OSP process. You can review my old videos. You'll get more idea about how to do that process. But still, I can show you quickly how this item looks like. This item, assembly item, go into my environment. And again, as a prerequisite, I'm using all my uh, the vision and vision users, and then vision or art structures. I'm not creating my own one here to reduce the time. So I went scm00.instructor, and I went for product management. I'm just showing this how my make item looks like. And the components are all the buy components. The make item is the finished good is, the assembly is the make item. Manage items. Give this item number here. Click search. So here I'm doing in the 00, I'm using 002 org as a manufacturing plant and the sales order creation. 001 is my central warehouse. If any raw materials not exist in my manufacturing plant, the raw materials will pull from 001 is my central warehouse. So let me open this product in 002, which I'm going to manufacture, and go to specifications. So go specifications, go to sales and order management. If you go sales and order management, the parts is back to back is yes. And if you go the planning system, planning tab, this is the make or buy as I make. This is the difference which I have done for these parts. All other components which I have the comp 1, comp 2, comp 3, all of the buy parts and back to back enabled. Because the reason what I thought means the system is already when you created a work order, from work order, if there is no supplies exist, automatically system will try to create a transfer order, but still that was not working because that functionality is not exist even in the cloud, right? So, and then I'll go for sourcing rule. I'll show you the sourcing rule how it looks like. Go into the home screen. Order management, global order promising. So task carousel and go to sourcing role. I have used a couple of sourcing roles here. One is a global, S22. I use this the global sourcing role which is going to ship confirm from my manufacturing plant if the parts are exist. And I have used this is my sourcing role which I used to go for ship confirm. I mean the transfer the material from 001 to 002, and you can see in the down. No, not this one. This one. This one, I think. Transfer, forget about transfer. So transfer is not working. So, I mean, the not working means from 002, when I am manufacturing work order, if the work order supply is not exist, then the system is not pulling that from 001. So B2B make items. You can see this flow, this sourcing role, and from 002, it make at 002. Okay, so it will create because 002 org itself, if the part is not exist, I mean the finished code is not exist, it will go and create a make order, I mean the work order. Again, you can go with another scenario also. If the manufacturing plant is a different manufacturing plant, different place, like 003 is my manufacturing plant. If 002 is raising a sales order, if the parts are not exist, then you can create your sales order in 003 too. That is another functionality. Like one where when play one location you are going to ship confirm, another location we are going to manufacture, and another location you are pulling the raw materials if it's not exist. So that's how you can do another process flow also. That's again, that's most of the business will do the same way. They'll manufacture always one location, and another location they will ship confirm, pick and ship. I mean, the create a sales order, pick and ship. And another location, they will always maintain the central warehouse. Wherever the distribution centers or manufacturing plants, they don't have any material, they'll pull from there. That's again the common business scenario for most of the customers will use that. That also we can we can achieve through cloud process. So this is the scenario which I have created here. Sourcing rule. Sourcing rule is the vital role which will play in the back-to-back order process. If you are not creating proper sourcing role, the system will not trigger the SEO, I mean supply chain orchestration flow. I mean it will not interface the data from order management to inventory, or order management to manufacturing, or order management to purchasing. Right? So then I have created sourcing role, and I have run the collections in advance, and I have run this sales. I mean the refresh and start the order promising service, which is integrated the sync between the GOP and order management. And again, I ran the collections for the on and everything, and I have kept enough stock. For example, if you see this component stock, I put enough stock in 001, and even for 002, I kept parts comp 1, comp 2 enough stock. Only comp 3, there is no stock. When I'm creating work order, when I'm issuing a comp 3, I need to create a transfer order from 001 to 002. So let me show you the stock. Go to, I'm in the inventory, manage item quantities, and I'll show from the comp 3, and I'm going for 002. This is the place where I'm going to manufacture. Go to task results, manage item quantities, and I'm giving the item here. And I'm going for is there any receiving or is there any in transit stock is exist. So there's no stock. Click search, there's no stock. I'll go for part 2, comp 2, and click search, and you can see 498 quantities are there already. Now I'm going to use a comp 1. I'm always checking the 002. Okay, comp 1, click search. I have 499 quantities are there, right? And I'll go and check my comp 3 in 001 is my central warehouse. You have enough stock in that place. Manage item quantities. I'm changing my org 001. To task results. manage item quantities, COM3001R, receiving an inbound. I'm checking that to complete stock on in transit too. I have 997 quantities are there. So when my work order is open, this work order, because if you see this work order, there are the three components are there: product management, uh, information management, manage manage items. I'll go on. I'm sorry. Go and pick this assembly. Click here. This is my assembly 002. When you go into the structure, I mean the bill of material. Go to structure, production. You can see there are three components. Component come to COM3. When my work order is open, I'm trying to pull the three components. COM1 I need one quantity, COM2 I need two quantities, COM3 I need three quantities to manufacture to complete this assembly. I'll pull three quantities from 001 when the work order is created in 002R. That's my requirement. Right, so let me create my sales order quickly. Go here, go order management, create order. I'm using US one, the Vision business unit and Vision customer. All right, so I'll give my item. This is my assembly item, and that's out of stock because whenever the customer is order, I will go on manufacture, I will ship confirm to the customers. I'm not maintaining any stock because based on the customer specifications, everything, every time my product, I mean the manufacturing will get slightly changed. Okay. And I don't want to manufacture in advance and keep it in my stock in my warehouse to uh, uh, replenish my inventory carrying cost on my maintaining the stock, right? So I'll go for one quantity for our testing purpose. This is my $150 in my sales. Add. And I'll go to shipping details, and I'll go and I'll give something like I'll give tomorrow's date, and go here shipping, and I'll go for supply. I'll give my warehouse 002 is my warehouse where I'm going to manufacture it. Okay, and yeah, I think this is because this is the vision. Most of the people are utilizing it. Someone has created a extended flexible as a mandatory. I'm going to fill some details for that. This is the extended flexible. Someone is testing this, and save. And we have a functionality called you can validate before submitting the order. Validate. There's no errors, right? And this is my order number. I'm noting down my order number somewhere here. Order number. Submit. Okay. Click OK. And now start it. Refresh. It'll take a couple of minutes to get complete supply request. Again, if you are getting any business process issues, business truck, you can just contact me if you need to draw any flows or if you stuck anywhere in that executing these flows in the real time implementation time. I can help you on that. Refresh is scheduled. It will go for the another after schedule. It will go for a supply request complete. Supply request complete. Then it will go for awaiting shipping line. And meantime, we'll go and see in the fulfillment details. Switch to actions. Switch to fulfillment view. And then go to fulfillment lines. Go a little bit right, you can see DOO, distributed order orchestration number. This is every time when you create order, the distributed order orchestration, this is a workflow number in EBS terminology. It will create supply request, schedule, supply request orchestration, supply request orchestration supply, and the pass is complete. Now it will go and check my branch structure based on my sourcing role. It will go for a buy flow or make flow or transfer flow. As of today, this is my make flow. As per my sourcing rule, the system should trigger to the make flow. So refresh, and it went for awaiting shipping. It's awaiting shipping. Now we'll go and see in the fulfillment lines. Go to fulfillment lines and go down. You can see all the general information. Apart from that, if you go supply details tab, in the supply details tab, you can see supply order number. So along with that, awaiting supply. This is available to ship date is April 2nd. Based on my lead times, in transit times, everything got calculated. And click this supply order number. You can see awaiting work order, because as per my sourcing role, this assembly item is a finished good part is my manufacturing make item, and the sourcing role driven as make at 002. So it will create a work order at 002. So awaiting work order, and transfer is null, buy is null, and you can see the make. It will create a work order. The work order is release status. This all will be this work order number format, and the work order status. Everything will be driven from your manufacturing plant parameters. Take this work order number. I'll keep it in my notepad for our reference. And orchestration plan. You can see that's the work order just created. Refresh. Work order get created, and we'll go for reservation and work order completion. If you complete the work order, it will go for a work order reservation also. It will trigger quickly in the work order reservation also in a couple of minutes. In meantime, we'll go and see the work order details. Duplicate and go to supply chain execution, work order execution. In the work order execution, make sure that I'm in the 002 as per my sourcing role. I'm using 002 for manufacturing and shipping, and 001 is the central warehouse. So click this, go to manage work orders. The manage work orders, give the work order number, click search. Yeah, this is the work order which got created now. It's in process. Progress is not started. So click this work order number. And you can see in this work order, the beauty of the work order, when the work order is created from the back-to-back make, then automatically go and see the reservations. It will show my sales order number. Sales order, customer number, the document 97463 is my sales, 97463 is my sales order number. It got tightly reserved against the sales order. The work order is tightly reserved against sales order. You can't able to break these reservations. And then the operations, you can see there are a couple of operations I put, S22 assembly and S22 packing. Assembly and packing, I'm doing it. In assembly, I have two components, component comp2, and the packing. At the time of doing a packing, I'm using a packing material comp3. So there are three packing materials I'm using. One item for comp1, one item for comp2, two items for comp2. And there are one resource here is one resource is assembler, is a packer, right? So this is my work definition which I have created. And the general information, you can see it. So now let me see whether it got reserved, or it should be tick mark reservation also. See, reservation is done now. So even those who are handling the administrating the supply chain administration, those who have access for the scope, right? Supply chain orchestration, they also can review in detail between how the flow is working, where is my work order status, and what is my sales order status. If someone is want to track all the details, not necessarily you need to go in the work order side, I mean the website or the sales order side, shipping side. Excuse me. We can directly go on SEO. You can track it all the details here. What is my assembly item? What is the component? What is the process? Where is in right now? Where is the in transit stage? Right, in production now. isn't manufacturing. So now I'm going to start the manufacturing here. As I told, in operation 10 assembly, I have two components, component COM2. I have enough stock, like a 489, 498, 497 components are there. I need 1 and 2. But COM3 wouldn't have any components. And I have removed that issue negative components. That checkbox I removed in the OR parameters to show you that system will not allow you to do the negative transactions. So I'll go on to work order. If you want to issue the parts to the work order, go to dispatch list, go to review dispatch list, and I'm going to my own assembly. This is my assembly area. I mean, this is my plant area, S22 assembly area. So I can see all my work centers, whatever work orders are in my assembly area, what is in process, what I need to do. Means in order to go with the work order or start date, end date, or work center, you directly go for your work area. Or sometimes what people will do means they'll more worry about their work centers, what are work orders are lying in their work centers, like assembly center, how many work orders are there, on the packing area, how many work orders. That also possible. You can check your things. So I'll go for directly my work area, assembly area, search. So there's only one R card is ready to manufacture. So I'll go here, the 10th operation. You can go for one step quick complete, or you can complete with details. Let me go with complete and details. And the product, and one is ready, complete one quantity. And then this is the operation transaction details. Go next. And black plus materials, I have both the components are operation full. So that's the black plus materials for here. When you complete this operation, automatically the material pull from my inventory. This is the one component, this is the two components. If you want, you can change it at the time of issuing the material. But again, it will go in the variance, whatever the material quantity is changing here. Go to next. And resource, this is the one of the resource which we are using for this, right? And save and close. So you have completed the quantity 1 at operation 10 for the work order. The next operation is 20 at the work order, right? So this is the 20th. What I'll do means I'll go for quick complete, step 2. Quick complete. You can see negative inventory balance are not allowed in this organization because I have removed that or parameter level. I have removed the allow negative inventory transactions because whenever we have physically material is there, I need to start my process. Otherwise, I don't want to complete the transaction in the system as a real time. What they will do mean in the shop floor, first they will do the manufacturing, and end of the day they will start recording all the transaction in the system. Or sometimes if the system is exist in front of the in the on the production line, the people will keep in parallel, people will enter that operations, right? So that's how we need to do. They have to pull the material from the system and they have to do. There are some plans. What they will do means when the shop floor is going to operation 10, 20, 30 like that, one stage to next stage, the whatever that assemblers there in the staging area, they will go and pick the material in the uh, manufacturing shop floor. I mean, there is a one store will be there, store in charge. Some people they call as a back counter. In the counter, they will go and they'll request, they'll give that material requirement sheet report. The whoever sitting in that store, they will issue the parts against the work order. So those people will perform these transactions and they are issuing the material against these operations or this work order. This is the multiple way the business people will do progress their system process. All right. So now I'm going. What I need to means I want to pull this material packing 3. I mean the material 3 comp 3 is not exist in my manufacturing plan 002. I want to pull that material from my central warehouse because there's only my stock is exist. I want to pull the material from 001 to 003. 002. I want to start my manufacturing. What I thought as I defined the sourcing role, what I thought initially before doing this process, system, whenever the work order also, if the stock is not exist, based on my sourcing role, automatically system will try to create a transfer order. I thought that functionality exists in cloud, but unfortunately it's not exist. If that functionality develop Oracle product team, it will be really helpful to many business people. They don't need to worry about to create any work, I mean any transfer orders or any purchase orders. Anyway, we'll go and create a transfer order, manual transfer order. right? Duplicate tab, go to duplicate tab, I created another window in the inventory. I'll go to inventory, supply chain execution, inventory management. So here is the request, whoever request, because 002 required the material. So go into the 002 org, change org, go to 002 because they need the material from 001. 001 is my central warehouse. And go to manage item quantities and give this S22 item 3. This item I need from 001. Search. We don't have any stock. If you don't have stock, if you want, create a transfer order. Transfer order is nothing but IRISO process in EBS. That's a very big process in EBS, but here they simplify the process. Is very simple, two-step process. Just click action, request transfer order. Once you click request transfer order, enter the part number S22 comp item 3, right? And how much quantity you need. We already knows that I need a 3 quantity as per my manufacturing, because the shop floor guy, those who are working in the plant, or the back counter store person knows how much quantity we need to pull from the central warehouse unless if it is not needed for any other work orders, or maybe the 1 week I don't want any material from the central warehouse. They'll give the 3 quantities. I need only 3. And when you need the delivery date, I may need today itself because it's urgent. And then if you put the delivery date, if you want to see how there are multiple ways you can define from your central warehouse to your manufacturing place. Maybe it may be the overnight or ground, or it may be the next day air. There are multiple shipping parameters you can define. Based on that, the software guy or the store guy will select that methods. Go to select supply source, and you can see this. If you go for SAI truckload, it will go for 0 days. Rank is 1, and this is the one transfer. Another way is a DHL air next day air. I'll go for DHL transfer, right? This is where you can select it. Click OK. And then supply details, and where you want the destination subinventory. The destination subinventory means my stores, and destination location not required, because destination we know destination location is 002. That's the reason not necessary mention. But which subinventory, in the shop floor subinventory or the stores, normally they'll put it in the stores. And source is from where? Seattle 001. And you don't need to give the source subinventory. The system will pick based on the whatever the sourcing role, the picking role. Based on that, it will pick the source subinventory. In the shipping method, we have already clicked the select supply source. We have selected this shipping method. I need DHL air, next day air. I don't want for the ground. Click OK. Submit. You can see supply request was created and submitted for processing. The supply request reference number. This is my supply request reference number. I'll take my supply request reference number. I'll give it for reference. Click OK. It means that we are requesting material from 002 001 central warehouse. It means we are going for across inventory locations. So we need to build. It means that the system will create a SCO order, supply chain orchestration, again to transfer the material from 001 to 002. Let me go and see the transfer order details here. So this is my old one. So this will be still in the reservation stage. Click done. Click done. This is my order management, right? PVD specialist. I'll go and create a duplicate. I'll open another window. I'll go to SCO order now. Supply chain execution, something like a supply orchestration. In the supply orchestration, from here also you can see, or you can go and see the task result. manage supply lines. From here, if you see comp 3 transfer, supply type is transfer, there's a 1. If you want, you can click this, you can see that. But anyway, I'll go for a task result. Manage supply lines. I have supply reference number I got, which I have pulled from the request inventory underscore 8382136. I'll go here and I click search. Right, this is my reference number and this is my supply order number, score number, and this is the document number. This is my transfer order. This is my oops. This is my transfer order number 1340. Okay, transfer and Oracle Inventory Management transfer order Seattle to Atlanta. Source is Seattle, destination is Atlanta, and a comp 3, and how many quantities? 3 quantities, and when you need the detail. And the reference number which I have taken here, this is my reference 8 to 136. Let me open this core number. You can see here, keep the cursor here. You can see the transfer order. First, the transfer order got initiated, and then you are saying the inter-organization shipment. Once the 001 ship confirm, this will be completed. And once the destination or over requesting 002 receive that material, then the transfer order will be closed. So execution documents, you can see here the transfer order number, you can see all the details will be in this scope details. Let me go and ship confirm the transfer from 001 to 002. So go here, let me go to inventory, supply chain execution, inventory management. So inventory shipments, manage shipment lines. So I'll give my transfer order number. I have noted down my transfer number here. I'll give my order number here. I'll give something before here. Search. Oops, it's not there because my inventory org is showing as a 002. So let me change the inventory org because I need to ship confirm from 001, which is I consider as a central warehouse. 001. Go again to shipment, manage shipment lines, and I'll give my order number here. I'll give just before schedule ship date. Right, so this is my shipment, auto create shipment. So 66201 is my shipment number. Save and close. This is ready to release. Give this shipment number, click the shipment number, and go for quick release. Save and close. And see, oops, the program is still running. Duplicate. Go and see the programs. Tools, scheduled process. It got completed. Release quickly. Let me go and see here. Advanced shipment. So search. So close. Staged. Now I go and ship confirm this. Click this shipment number and ship confirm. Was confirmed. So I'll go and monitor this process. Ship confirm. Manage shipment interface. Sure, complete. Send shipment advice should be completed now. This is need to be. This is the interface strip stop, which is moving the material from 001 to 002. So it will take a couple of minutes to complete this. In meantime, let me go and see the score and the transfer orders. Okay. So go here. Think manage shipment lines, right? This is the one. Refresh. You see, transfer organization shipment completed. Now I need to go transfer order closure means once the requesting or 002 receive the material, receive the transfer order will be closed. This scope process will be closed. Let me go and do my 002 cancel. Go to 002 receipt. I'll go for receipts and I'll go for receive expected shipments. Make sure that 001 should be, 002 is a receiving org who need the material, right? Go to 002, go here, receive expected shipments, and give you a transfer order number. So this is my transfer order number 134052, and click search and click to the receipt. To the receipt, uh, show receipt quantity. Go a little bit right. You can see there are three quantities, and its supplier is my Seattle because this is a transfer order, the source order, and so there is destination org receiving. There's two-step process, standard process. But again, if you there is a parameter, the receiving parameter, override receipt routing. If you click that checkbox, then automatically one step you can change the receiving to inventory, then you can complete the receiving process too. So let me do the two-step process, create receipt, submit. Right, this is my receipt number. I'll go again based on my transfer around, I'll do the receipt. Done. Go to task results. I'm doing the put away transactions. Put away is the delivery transaction in the EBS. And give the transfer order or your receipt number. Transfer order, search, click this, put away, and it will always select the stores because the reason is we have given the stores at the time of creating a transfer order, destination, sovereignty where you want. That's the reason the system is populating by default here. And then click submit. Transaction completed. Now I'll go here. I'll see my transfer score number, score details here. You see, transfer order closure. This scope process complete. It means the transfer flow between 001 to 00 process got completed without any issues. Right. This is how because this is the one of the best feature in cloud supply chain, supply orchestration flow, where you can go and track all the details. And if any error it gets struck, you can correct that error. You can resubmit that too. But that functionality is very difficult, very complex, tedious process in EBS. You have to go and write a query and pull the details from the interface tables. You have to write some update script. You have to correct that, and they have to re-trigger that. This is a big, tedious, hectic process in EBS, and only those who know a little bit technical knowledge they can able to do that. Other functional people, few functional people can't able to. But here, everything will be do it through front end and visually you can do that. Done. Now I'll go and do the manufacturing process because I got my material. So I'll go to dispatch list. We already knows that the dispatch list. I'm in the 20th operation. I'm going to do my quick complete. So it got completed. You see, you have completed the quantity 1 at operation 27 entry. Complete the work order. This is my work order now. Let me see the work order status. And done. Same close. and I'll give my work order, and I'll select the status, all statuses, because complete status, right? Search. You see, work order 1056, assembly item 1, one quantity which is completed, start date and completion date is this happened that progress. And then we'll open this work order, and still it will be in the reservation is not there because this material is already completed. It's already in my warehouse now. The completed, it's in the completed store in the 002. That's the reason the reservation tab got removed. It's not visible. Initially we saw the reservation tab which is reserved against this work order with the sales order. After once the work order is completed, we're not going to see this reservation here, right? So let me go and see this status in my scope, right? So supply chain orchestration, I'll go here, I'll go supply chain orchestration, supply, manage supply lines. I have my, uh, based on my, I didn't use my, let me use my item number. I didn't pull my score number. Or I can do it from directly here, I think in the work order also. That's directly from my sales order. Go here, order management, order management. I'll use my, what's my sales order number? This 97463 is my sales order number. Task or manage orders. Give the sales order number here. Give search. Right. Click the sales order number and go into the fulfillment view, actions, switch to fulfillment view, and go down. There's a score number, right? Click the score number. Supply chain orchestration number. Do number. Sorry. Click the do number and orchestration plan. Should complete refresh. And fulfillment lines. Supply details. Supply details. Is it? Goods are available. Click this supply order number here and go here. This is a make item. See, the work order is completed. And see the work order completion done. If you pick and ship, the fulfillment completion process will happen, right? So this is how you can see in the SCO also. In the supply chain orchestration also, you can use this work order number or the SCO number. You can, using this SCO number, you can pull the details. So work order created, it reserved, again the sales order, and then the work order completion done. You have completed the work order. Once you pick and ship, this will be completed. The orchestration process also will be completed. We'll go and pick and ship this order, right? Let me go into my inventory. Always picking, shipping happen from the inventory module. Supply chain execution, inventory. Click this task carousel and go to shipments, shipment lines, 002. Okay, make sure that. Then the order number is 96463 is my sales order number. Search. Search. Oops, not today. Before. Shouldn't shipped it. Click search. And auto create shipment. This is my shipment number 202. Save and close. Shipment number is created. Click the shipment number 66202. Once you open the shipment and pick release. Actions, pick release. So, okay. Once you're done this pick release, save and close. So my process is running here. So make sure that this Release Pickwick got succeed. Go back again. Save and close. Right. So we'll go and see this order number details here. So sorry. So go to order management, manage shipment lines. I'll give my order number again here. So and I'll go for ship schedule ship date is before just use select and save and close. You can see this got staged. Now I'm going to ship confirm this assembly part from my warehouse. I mean in my manufacturing place. Ship confirm. Right. Got ship confirmed. Shipped. Then it will go for the invoice process. Once ship confirm is done, the invoice processing will happen. So this is how that process is working. Back-to-back manufacturing process and the transfer if the manufacturing subparts when the components do not exist, even the sourcing rule is defined, the system is not creating a transfer order for the demand to match the supply in the work order side. It means the back-to-back is completely working as expected from the order management side, but it's not in manufacturing side, work order side. So let me create a innovation request to Oracle product team. Let's see what response we are getting from them. Okay. So feel free, connect with me if you have any questions, any issues. Right. Now we are ready to help you anytime. Thank you.